Hey yo, what up, bitch? I'm sorry. Alright, so going to the topic, which I am too lazy to make this into long because I don't want to make this into long. Alright, so we're going to, I'm going to tell my opinions on what I think about these main characters from the Legends of Chima. So I'm only be talking about the main 8 teenagers. I don't know if they're teenagers or if they're in their 20s. Yeah, I'm going to talk about them. I think they're in their 20s. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about them. And if I said that I love them, I'll give up my opinion on why I love them. And if I said that I hate them, I'll also give a reason why I hate them. Moving on. Now, let's start. Laval, the lion. Okay, so with Laval, yes, I love him. Okay, I love Laval. Right. So why I love Laval? He's giving, someone better than Simba. I mean, this is really offensive from Disney fans and The Lion King, but um, it's really deep inside my heart that he is so much better than Simba and that one line from Cartoon Network. Is it Paddle Pop? Yeah, that I don't even remember how the logo goes. It almost looks like Star Fox, but instead of a fox, it's a lion, and then they go hunting for magic gems, and then they suddenly went kung fu, and then they suddenly turn into a king. So I'm not talking about that show. I'm talking about Chima. So, alright. So Laval, the best lion that I've ever met, the best lion character. Every other lion characters kinda sucks to me. The other lions that I've met is really bad. Like that lion from the Sing 2, or because he's just someone that I don't really care because I don't like that movie anyway. I just saw it because my cousins were watching it. And the other lion, which is from Taiwan Cool Fox, it's just Ganondorf or Dracula from Castlevania, like that. So Laval gave that character of a lion that sounds really awesome. Like, okay, it's given a Sonic the Hedgehog. If Sonic the Hedgehog is lion, and he goes doing this cool stuff as maybe he's a little too dumb. Maybe he's an idiot, but I'll still love him. Yeah, I still love Laval. That's the only con, that Laval is an idiot, but he's the only con. So, but most of the time, he's a really cool lion. He's a cool lion, better than Simba. Sorry for the Disney fans. Disney is toxic anyway. So, moving on. Okay, so now Kragger. What about Kragger? What do I think about Kragger? Okay, if is it a love? Is it a hate? I don't know. I think I somewhere in the maybe. Yes, it's a neutral. I don't love the guy, and at the same time I don't hate the guy. It's just that I don't like characters who acted like Po from Kung Fu Panda, cause that's a crybaby and weak idiot things. And I don't, I really don't like idiots. And am I so mean to idiots? Alright, so ignore that question because I'm talking about Kragger. So Kragger is like the baby who seems to be really dependent on his mother and father, and goes on throwing a tantrum if he doesn't get his chi, and then he'll is will kinda kinda really scared, frightened sometimes. I can't tell what character he is when he acts like that. I was supposed to. I've already said oh, but there's another character where he acts so scared. Yeah, oh, I think it's that one wolf guy from the Penguins of Madagascar movie. Yeah, when they were supposed to get executed. Yeah, it's giving that vibe, and it's so annoying sometimes. But at the same time, Krager is funny, and at the same time is kind of awesome too because he can fight and that all. He's also a cool crocodile and also a cool villain with a nice cool sister. His sister, I think the only reason I like Krager sometimes is because of his sister, because his sister is a really cool villain. You know, can you just be like that's aesthetic every time you do something evil and try to hypnotize your own brother just like that? Yes. Now, moving on. So the only female out of the 8 of the main tribes, which is Aries. So I don't love Aries, at the same time I don't hate Aries. Well, I don't hate Aries because she's the only smart one among the 8. I'm kinda curious, why is it that the girls in the Chima universe the smarter than the guys? Because Winona is a rhino herself, but she, even without the rhino beside her, she's still smart, and she's the only one smart among all the other rhinos. Maybe guys in the Chima universe are really idiots. Maybe. Wait, but Spinel, the giant spider queen, is also an idiot because she thinks she's beautiful when she's not. And then so Aries is okay, the bestest friend of Laval, and I really love that friendship between them because it's really seems so cool that they'll, whenever they like fight together, they'll be so, you know, it doesn't apply something about romance. It's just them being friends together, and they're really doing a great job being a duo like that. And that's why I also like Alice because the she's not that, you know, a princess that you have to save all the time, unlike Princess Peach in the Mario Kingdom. And it's she's smart, so maybe I like characters who are smart. The only con that I don't like about Aries is that she is in love with Rogan. When she is smart, she's an independent eagle, and then she fell in love with that idiot. Why would you fall in love with an idiot, girl? Go find someone else better than him. That's the only con that I don't like about Aries. That's the only thing I don't like about Aries, and that's all. So, moving on. Now, let's talk about this idiot, Rogan. Yes, the one idiot who is really obsessed with rocks along with his whole tribe, who is also obsessed with rocks and are also idiots, and all they ever care about is the rocks, and they think there's some valuables about a rock more than anything else. As long as it's a rock, then it's a rock that they wanted, or a box of nothing that Razor just sold to them. They are so dumb, and when they get smart because of the rhino being near them, it doesn't seem any better because now they look too smart that it's kind of a headache to understand what they were saying. So there's nothing, I guess there's nothing right about them at all, because if they're idiots, then it's, I don't appreciate how idiotic they are, and then when they're too smart, it's too hard to understand. Like, what do they mean? What does Rogan mean about this word and this word and then this other word, and then started talking so formal when they're in the what time is this? I think in the what do you call, what prehistoric time do you call Rome, when Rome happened in Pompeii? You know, I'll just say Animal Kingdom times. And then all that. So maybe I just don't like idiots. That's why I don't like Gorgon. Well, he is an idiot, and I don't want that. So, moving on to the next one. Okay, Gorzan. I love this character so much. I really love Gorzan. Gorzan is the cutest of them all. Gorzan was so sweet. Like, there's this flower, and then he's just so protective over this flower, and he's so sweet. He takes so much of this flower that he just brings it home and then takes care of it like it's a little baby and all that. And then he's so sweet with all the other types. He's so cute and calls everyone like his friends. Honestly, not friend, dude. It's dudes, because he calls everyone dudes. Even if it's not a girl, it's considered a dude. And then there will be a time where a flower will be broken, and then he will get so aggressive and violent, and he will went feral and then chase that crocodile or a raven for destroying that flower. And then they will not stop until they murdered the guy or slaughtered it into Lego pieces and studs. It's so cool that you want to be so sweet, but when someone ruins it, you want to kill them until it's over, until it makes you feel better. All the blood that's gonna sprout out, all the bones that's gonna sprout out, break, bend, and the organs spilling out of the body, that is so relatable to do. And then there are more times that he will always be this sweet, and then there will be times where he will be so murderous that you gotta run. And even if you got the chi power in you, you are still no match to the gorillas. Maybe one of the strongest types, because Quaggle got the chi pulled in and he still failed. It's really nice to have someone sweet become so psychotic just because someone ruined something nice in your life. It kinda, it's really, maybe I should stop talking about murder. This should be a topic about Chima, not some CSI something. Alright, I'll just move on. So now you know why Gorzon's my favorite, my most favorite out of the 8. So let's move on. Okay, so I also love Bladvik. Well, I also love Bladvik. Why do I also love Bladvik when he does nothing? That's the reason why I love Bladvik, because he does nothing. He just sleeps and all that. And everyone else sleeps. Everyone loves sleeping towards this generation because work is exhausting and school is exhausting. So all you got to do to make yourself relax is sleep. And I'm an introvert, so I really like this. I got 2 jobs, so this really makes me want to enjoy sleeping much better because of how stressful my afternoons are gonna be and my mornings. And right there, I love Bladvik too, because sleeping. Everyone loves sleeping, not just at the night, even at the morning. When you just want to sleep for an hour and 30 minutes, you go sleeping in the couch because it's so tiring. And then if someone ever ruins that, they get all cranky and they want to commit homicide and end those lives so that they could peacefully go back to sleep. That is so really anyways, I'm going back to the topic of killing somebody. Let's not, maybe I am violent. Yeah, you guys should ignore that. Okay, maybe I am violent. What is going on with my mind? Okay, so anyways, let's just move on to the next character. Now, okay, so you guys know I love Bladvik too. I hate Warriors. Alright, so Warriors is not an idiot, so that's not the reason. It's because Warriors seems like a normal character that just exists to be hated by every other tribes. just cause he wants to be a bad guy. And yeah, some ordinary bad bad guy who just wants to be a bad guy cause I don't know why he bad so bad, and then he has no risk cause Windra keeps rejecting him, all that. And yeah, the the character seems real boring to me that I have no other explanation why I hate Warriors. Maybe I'm also annoyed with how he talks cause and how he behaves, because it seems he almost sounds like an idiot, even if he's not an idiot, but he still sounds an idiot, even if he's not an idiot, but he sounds like an idiot. Or maybe it's just edgy like Shadow the Hedgehog. I also hate Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, sorry for the Shadow the Hedgehog fans. I don't like him. Alright, so moving on. Alright, lastly, Razor. Alright, so in the in between, that's my answer. I don't love Razor, at the same time, I don't hate Razor. So, Razor could be really annoying, that's why I don't love him, because he's so annoying that he's just right here and then right there to take everyone else's stuff, and then being the one of the main problems in the episodes. Then I don't hate Razor because he is so smart with scamming others. I honestly, if I were a scammer, I would take advices from him. Honestly, but it's gonna be so difficult if you're not a criminal. So I don't know if I could ever get some tips from him. Alright, so Razor is really smart, so that's why I don't hate him. I don't hate Razor because he's smart. Like all the other guys there, well, from what I know, the only smart guys there is Worries and Razor. Yeah, out of the 8. Is this probably a rare occurrence where there are actually smart guys in Chima? Because most of the time there's a lot of idiots. Maybe that's how it works in the Chima universe. If they're a guy, they're idiots. But if they're born a girl, they're smart. I don't know how it works, because Winona's, like I said, Winona's a rhino, but she ain't an idiot. She's just clumsy, far from idiot. Right, so yeah, that's why I don't love Razor, because he's annoying. At the same time, I don't hate Razor because he's smart, and I would take advices from him if I would ever become a con artist, which is disappointing because I will never become one. Right, so there it is. So yeah, if you like more videos where I insult characters even if they're fictional, well, they're fictional, so who cares if they got offended? They don't have real feelings anyways. Just like character AI, you just say they're stupid and all that, they will just be messaging you and then do a role play and all that, and you don't care because they're not real. So yeah, am I okay? I'll admit I am offensive. I'm really offensive. If you watch my videos, you know what I mean. I'm really offensive. I'm so insulting. Alright, so yeah, that's all about video, and bye bye, I guess.